देशतारिणे जयो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So this is a very nice bhajan. It's a very short bhajan. So the bhajan is about Gauranga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. So he is none other than Krishna himself. And today we will see in this bhajan what are the glories of worshipping Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is composed by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, very very famous. He is the one who has also composed Chaitanya Charitamrita in Bengali, and that was later translated into English by Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so he is one of the very closest intimate disciple of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhaja Gaurango, Kaho Gaurango, Laho Gaurangero Naam Re. Bhaja Gaurango, Kaho Gaurango, Laho Gaurangero Naam Re. जी जना गौरांगा भाजे तेहाया मार प्राण रे. जी जना गौरांगा भाजे तेहाया मार प्राण रे. भज गौरांगो कहो गौरांगो लहो गौरांगेरो नाम रे. गौरांगा बोलिया दो बाहु तुलिया, गौरांगा बोलिया दो बाहु तुलिया, नाचिया नाचिया बेराओ रे. भज गौरांगो कहो गौरांगो लहो गौरांगेरो नाम रे. गौरांगा भोजिले गौरांगा झपिले, गौरांगा भोजिले गौरांगा झपिले हय दुखेर भसान रे. गौरांगा भजिले गौरांगा झपिले हय दुखेर भसान रे. भज गौरांगो कहो गौरांगो लहो गौरांगेरो नाम रे. जी जना गौरांगा भाजे ते होया मार प्राण रे. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे. हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, so let's see the translation. So this is Gauranga and Nityananda Mahaprabhu. Okay, so Gauranga is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is always dressed in yellowish orange. Like Krishna, he also dresses himself in yellow color, and like Balram, Nityananda Prabhu also dresses himself in blue color. Okay, why? Because Nityananda Prabhu is Balram incarnation. Okay, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. And so translation: worship Lord Gauranga, chant Gauranga, speak about Lord Gauranga only. So bhajo is to worship, Kaho is to utter his name, okay, chant, and then Laho is to speak about him. Those who worship Gauranga is indeed my life and soul. So this is written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He is a devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is here motivating all of us to worship Lord Gauranga, chant Gauranga, and speak about Lord Gauranga. Okay, and chanting Gauranga, go out with your arms raised, dancing and dancing. See, even in this picture, if you see, wherever, not just in this picture, wherever you see Nitai, Gaura Nitai, they are always with raised hands, dancing. They're, they are always dancing and singing Sankirtan, right? So, Krishna Sankirtan, no, the whole joy of the movement comes out when you dance for the Sankirtan. So even when we have, in ISKCON, wherever you go, even on YouTube, you can watch, okay, all Sankirtan videos, we will have tablas, mridangas, right? All types of musical instruments. One will be singing, all the rest of them will be dancing. We will have kartals, right? So that's how we do Sankirtan, okay? Always dancing out of joy, dancing out of happiness. Okay, and that is called real happiness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to faint and fall every time he would go to that ecstatic stage. He would dance, he would fall unconscious, because of that ecstasy. That is real happiness. He would go real. He would get into that vipralamba bhav, which is called separation from Krishna, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the mode of Radharani, right? So he came in the mode of a devotee. So he set an example how an ideal devotee should be. So every time he would think about Krishna, every time he would do Sankirtan, he would fall unconscious, feeling the intense separation from Krishna. Okay, that is Vipralambha Bhav. And yeah, so by chanting Gauranga and worshipping him, one's miseries will end. Okay, so taking to Krishna consciousness is start of happiness. And so obviously our miseries will end. Okay, so today is Kurma Avatar. Last class we did Matsya Avatar, right? Anybody wants to summarize what's Matsya Avatar? Anything that you know about Matsya Avatar?
Yeah,
Hari Bol. Please continue. Please continue.
Yes, anybody? One of you? Hare Krishna. Okay, raise your hand. I'll unmute. Let's avoid the confusion. Anybody wants to share anything about Matsya Avatar? Please raise your hand. Yes, Prabhuji. Ashok Prabhuji, you can unmute yourself.
yeah, Shri Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
The Matsya Avatar is one of the first incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Okay, and there was a king, as you have narrated last time, Satyavrata king, and that king was a great devotee of Lord Krishna. And when one day he was praying on the side of the river, he found a small fish and which he took in his karmanda. Then when after some time the fish grew to that size, that karmandal was small for him, that fish, and next day this fish kept on increasing and increasing to that size, and ultimately he has to keep the fish in the river. When he put in the river, then it attained a huge size, and then Lord appeared and told that within 7 days some disaster will occur, and this huge fish will come which has one horn, and that will be miles and miles long, and that snake's name I forgot, that will be used to that will be used, and a boat will appear and you will ride that fish, and along with the saptarishis and seeds, herbs and other things. So we will save the this this Prakriti from the present disaster. So this is what I learned last time.
Yes, very good. Very good summary. And yeah, so how many times did Matsya, how many times did Lord come in Matsya Avatar? Is it just once to save Satyavrata? 2 times, yeah. Who is that? Sampath, yeah. So 2 times. What was the other time? Like, what did he do the other time? Anybody knows? Once was to save Satyavrata. First time was? Nobody knows? To save the Vedas, okay, from Hayagriva. Hayagriva was the sea demon, right? So he stole Vedas from Brahma and he went into the ocean. So Krishna had to come in the form of Matsya because he was a sea demon and go into the sea and dive deep and take all the Vedas back. Okay. So yeah, by the way, we will start with Kurma Avatar, but before that, tomorrow is Ekadashi. Okay, so we will just see the glories of Ekadashi and then we will proceed. Okay. So I'm sure all of you know about Ekadashi. I just wanted to brush through so that we all stay motivated for tomorrow. And yeah. So tomorrow is Ekadashi. What is Ekadashi mainly? What do we observe on Ekadashi? What do we do? Anybody? Very simple. You can put your answers in chat. Not necessarily you have to raise your hand all the time. Okay, you can keep putting your answers in chat. Yeah, we fast, right? Fasting. What do we fast from? We fast from grains. Okay, we don't eat grains on Ekadashi. We eat all kind of fruits, vegetables, but no beans, legumes, and grains. Okay, these are the 3 things we need to avoid. So beans includes coffee beans as well. Okay, and the normal, all rajma, kidney beans, and all that we have to avoid. Okay, all the other nuts and fruits we can have. Okay, and this is the rule. Okay, so why no grains? Why we should not eat grains? There's a small story behind that. Okay, there was a demon. Okay, again, his name is Papa Purush. Okay, his name is Papa Purush, and he used to uh, behave in a very violent manner. Okay, he used to tie people up. Whoever used to offer devotion service to the Lord, he used to tie them all up and beat them. Okay, that's what he used to do, Papa Purush. He hates devotees. Okay, so once what happened, everybody used to offer devotional service and all that to the Lord, and Papa Purush came and he started beating them up, scolding them and all, and they got offended. All the devotees started screaming for help. They started calling Krishna for help. And then Krishna came, Ekadashi. Okay, there is a person called Ekadasi. You can see in the picture, right? So she is called Ekadasi. She's a very great devotee of the Lord. She's a Dasi of the Lord, okay, servant of Krishna. She came and fought with this Papa Purush and sent him away. Okay, and then this Papa Purush did not get vanquished. So he went on the grains. Okay, or wherever there is grains, he went and hid himself there. Okay, so that particular day, because Ekadasi came, okay, she is also Krishna's great devotee, because she came and fought with Papa Purush and all that and saved the devotees. That particular day is observed as Ekadashi. Okay, it is considered to be the 11th day from the waxing or waning of the moon. Okay, and because Papa Purush ran away and hid on the grains, we are not supposed to touch grains on Ekadashi. Okay, because Papa Purush will be there, and more, the moment we eat more and more of grains on Ekadashi, what happens? The tendency to commit sins increases within ourselves. Okay, because Papa Purush's main quality is to make people commit sins. Okay, this is the main reason why we don't eat grains, beans, and legumes on Ekadashi. Okay, remaining all fruits, vegetables, green leafy vegetables, nuts, and all we can have. Okay, if you want more of carbohydrates, if you're doing heavy lifting job and all that, if you want more of carbohydrates and all that, you can definitely have sabudana. Okay, and if you're diabetic or you have to take a lot of medicines and all, please continue taking medicines. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule ki you should not take medicines. Definitely we have to take medicines, right? And because you have to take medicines, you have to eat, so you can eat sabudana. Okay, um so sabudana will give you proper energy. Okay, and ekadashi is the most dearest day of the day to the Lord. Okay, because one of the greatest devotee of Krishna happened to be born that day, no, ekadasi. And that's why Krishna named this day in her after her name, ekadashi. Okay, and whatever sankalpa you take up on ekadashi, it will come true. Okay, in terms of your devotional service, if you want to increase your rounds, you can take up sankalpa and chant more. And one more thing, chant more and more on Ekadashi, at least one round more. Offer more and more devotion service on Ekadashi. Okay, because that's a very dear, this day is going to be very dear to the Lord. So if you offer more and more devotional service, then Krishna will bless you more and more. Okay, and also chant more and sing, learn new bhajans on Ekadashi. See, whatever new thing you do, start doing on Ekadashi, it's going to be with you long term. Okay, it's going to become successful. Okay, so if you want to say you're doing 15 rounds, you want to reach that 16 round stage. If you start some other day, if you start doing 16 rounds, you might fall back to 15. But on Ekadashi day, if you increase your round, you will never fall back. Okay, so whatever you do on Ekadashi, it's going to be a success. Dedicate it, devote it to the Lord, and then do it. Okay, even your material things. Okay, if you want to start something new, some new business idea, something, anything as such, devote it to the Lord, chant a round for that, start it. Okay, on Ekadashi, you will not find any better day other than Ekadashi for any kind of sankalpa. Okay, but devote it to the Lord. As long as it is considered devotional service, no problem. Okay, and yeah, one of the reasons why in Mahabharata, Pandavas won the war because they fought on Ekadashi day, right? Krishna recited Bhagavad Gita on Ekadashi day. So Ekadashi, it is the best day for devotees. It's whatever devotees do on Ekadashi, they are going to become successful. Okay, and yeah, you can see here from Garga Samhita, as fire came from a great pile of cotton. So even just one Ekadashi 100 births. Okay, so can you imagine? We can get rid of all our sinful reactions just by taking up Ekadashi Vrata. Okay, as you see in the picture, read more of Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Okay, if you want to learn shlokas, if you've not learned shlokas before, if you want to, start with it, start it on Ekadashi. At least start with one shloka. Okay, uh, every and any endeavor of yours will become successful. Okay, but chant for that. Okay, chant more and more rounds. Chanting Shravanam, Kirtanam, two easiest ways to perform devotional service, like as you see in the picture. Kirtanam is reading books, singing, talking, narrating Krishna stories and all that, and even chanting. And Shravanam, again, reading, listening to lectures, right? And listen to Prabhupada's lectures, listen to NND Prabhuji's Bhagavatam classes. Okay, all these help. Okay, now we will move on to Kurma avatar. Okay, summarize. Okay, those, what do you call those? Siridanya we say. I don't know what is it in English. Those things you can have. I will. There is a document which says what you can have, what type of grains you can have, and what type of grains you should not have. I will share that in the group. Okay. Mm, yeah, millets. Correct. Okay, let me share the screen. Wow, what is happening? Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen? Okay. Okay. Now, so Kurma avatar. So what's Kurma avatar in one word? What is Kurma avatar in one word? Tortoise. Yeah, very nice. Okay, so yes, so tortoise is what is Kurma. Okay, like you see in the picture, Krishna has come in the form of tortoise, and on the shell of the tortoise there is a big hill, mountain, right? It's called Mandara Mountain. We will get into the details. Okay, so there's a shloka. This is again an extract from Dashavatara Stotra composed by Jayadev Goswami. Okay, so in the last class also we happened to read chant a shloka, right, from the stotra. That was on Matsyavatar. This is on Kurmavatar. Okay, it's a very nice, we will do at probably ninth avatar or last Kalki avatar, we will do the entire Dashavatar stotra. It's a very nice, stotra composed by Jayadev Goswami. क्षितिरिह विपुलतरे तिष्ठति तव पृष्ठे धरणिधरण किल चक्रगरिष्ठे केशभद्रता कूर्मशरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे. Okay, so Kurma Sharira, tortoise incarnation. Okay, so again take up extracts and excerpts from Bhagavatam and understand the story. Okay, Suranam Udhadim Matnatam Mandarachalam Dhadre Kamatarupena Prashta Ekadashe Vibhu. Okay, so Ekadashi we just happened to discuss, right? What is Ekadashi? 11th, right? So that's why it is considered the 11th day of waxing and waning of moon. Now the same way, this is 11th incarnation. Now in the last class, we all understood that Matsyavatara is the first incarnation of the Dashavatas, right? And so Kumatara should be the second incarnation. But here it says 11th incarnation. Any comments on this? What do we mean by 11th incarnation? Anybody knows? Anybody? No? Okay, so 11th incarnation means we already saw that there are multiple types of incarnations of the Lord. Okay, not just 24, there are thousands, I mean millions, in fact, numerous. Okay, so there are multiple types of incarnations. What are those types? Purushavataras, Gunavataras, Yugavataras, Manvantara avatars, Shakti Avesha avatars, Leela avatars. There are more. Okay, so Purushavatas. Anybody know what are the three Purushavatas we have? Have you heard of three Purushas we have? No? So there are three Purushas, okay? Purusha means Vishnu. There are three Vishnus. We don't just have one Vishnu. Okay, there is totally three Vishnus. One is Karanodakshay Vishnu, the next is Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and then we have Kshirodakshay Vishnu. Okay, so the Paramatma which we have in our hearts, okay, which Vishnu is that? Kshirodakshay Vishnu. Okay, so Kshirodakshay Vishnu comes in these 10 Dashavataras, and they are called Leelavataras of the Lord. Okay, after Purushavatas, the three Vishnu avatars, we have something called Gunavataras. Okay, based on the modes of material nature, that is, what are the three modes of material nature we have? You can just quickly keep on writing your answers in the chat. What are the three modes of material nature we have? Level 1, we all do this. What are the three modes?
Tamas, Rajas, Sattva.
Yeah, very good. That's all. I just wanted this. Okay, so these are the three modes. Based on these three modes, again Krishna incarnates. Okay, so mode of passion is Rajas. Okay, that is signified by Lord Brahma. Okay, and Lord Vishnu represents the mode of goodness, that is sattva, and then the mode of ignorance is represented by Shiva, okay, tamas. So these are gunavataras, and then yugavataras, manvantaravatas, shakti aveshamataras. There are lots. One of the type is leelavataras, like I already told. Kshirodakshaya Vishnu takes form in these 10 dashavataras called leelavataras. Okay, and the first incarnation of the leelavatara is Matsyavatara. Okay, it is not the first incarnation of the Lord as a whole. In fact, first expansion of the Lord is Balram. Okay, Balram is said to be the first plenary expansion of the Lord. Anyway, okay, so this is the second incarnation of the Leelavatara, Kurma. Okay, and in total, when you consider all the avatars put together, Kurma Avatara will be the 11th incarnation. Okay. So the primeval Lord then assumed the tortoise incarnation in order to serve. Okay, one moment. We didn't complete reading the translation from the previous shloka, right? Hmm. Okay, so the 11th incarnation of the Lord took the form of a tortoise whose shell served as a pivot for the Mandarachala hill, which was being used as a churning rod by the thieves and atheists of the universe. Okay, so we will look into the background of the story in a couple of minutes. Okay, just giving you the summary of what Kurmavatara is all about. Okay, so the primeval Lord then assumed the tortoise incarnation in order to serve as a resting place or pivot for the Mandara mountain, which was acting as a churning rod. The demigods and demons were churning the ocean of milk with the Mandara mountain in order to extract nectar. The mountain moved back and forth, scratching the back of Lord Tortoise, who, while partially sleeping, was experiencing an itching sensation. Okay, so what's happening here is there is demigods on one side, demons on the other side. Okay, I think most of us know the story, right? Demigods on one side and demons on the other side. Now, what they were doing was they all wanted to churn this ocean of milk. Okay, there is why? Because they will get nectar out of that. Okay, if they drink that nectar, then what are the why do demigods? Why do you think demigods don't age very fast? Why do you think they don't fall sick very fast? They have high immunity, right? They look very beautiful till their last, till their death, right? They live long, right? All these reasons, I mean, all these are because they drink nectar very often. Okay, this is the reason they all, you know, live long. Okay, so this nectar they extract. How do they extract? This is from the ocean of milk. Kshirodaksha. Kshirodaksha Vishnu is present in Kshira ocean. Kshira means milk, right? So in that, when they churn, to churn they use Mandara hill, okay, as the churning rod, and Vasuki is the rope which they use to churn. Again, Vasuki is the snake, right? And they use that to churn. The moment they churn, nectar comes out from the ocean and they all can drink. Okay, so this is the plan. But then demons also come. They say even we want nectar. So one side it is demigods, the other side of the churning rod it is demons. Okay, both of them start churning. But what happens? The Mandara hill is very heavy, right? And there is no support for the Mandara hill, so it sinks in the ocean. They will not be able to churn. That's why Lord takes the form of a tortoise. Okay, and on the shell of the tortoise, Mandara hill is placed, okay, to give support as a pivot. And then when they churn, the hill doesn't fall. Okay, and this is the main idea. That is why the Lord takes the form of a tortoise. Okay, and yeah. So Shukadeva Goswami continued in Hiranmaya Varsha, the Supreme Lord Vishnu lives in the form of a tortoise, Kurma Sharira. So this most dear and beautiful form is always worshipped there in devotion service by Aryama, the chief resident of Hiranmaya Varsha. Along with other inhabitants of that land, they chant the following hymns. Okay, so what is Hiranmaya Varsha? This is a big question here. So, there are planets, right, in this world, in the space, there are planets floating, correct? So, these planets are called as dvipas. Okay, in Bhagavatam, it's given in detail. So, there are 7 dvipas. In that, one of the dvipas or the first dvipa is Jambu Dvipa. We all belong to this particular planet dvipa called Jambu Dvipa. Okay, when you do sankalpa in temples and all, they say, Jambu Dvipa, Bharatakande and all that. And then next is Khanda. Okay, there are lot of Khanda. Okay, what is Khanda? In every planet, there are valley like structures. They are called Khanda. Okay, in Jambu Dvipa, Jambu planet also there are Khandas. Okay, and one of the Khandas is Hiranmaya Khanda. Like Bharata Kande, Hiranmaya Kande, there are many other Khanda. Okay, in that Hiranmaya is one of them. Okay, in Hiranmaya, so it's also called as Varsha. Okay, so in Hiranmaya, in that place, people worship the Lord in the form of Kurma avatar. Okay, and all of them worship Krishna only in the form of Kurma. Okay, that is what in Bhagavatam we are learning. Okay, now, oh my Lord, how do they worship? The prayers are given here. Okay. Oh my Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances to you, who have assumed the form of a tortoise. Okay, you are the reservoir of all transcendental qualities, and being entirely untinged by matter, you are perfectly situated in pure goodness. You move here and there in the water, but no one can discern your position. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Because of because of your transcendental position, you are not limited by past, present, and future. Krishna is Trikalagnani, right? You are present everywhere as the shelter of all things. Okay, as in the form of Paramatma, he is present in everybody's heart, and he is also present in the form of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu in every atom, okay, of the universe. And therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. These are the kind of prayers people in Hiranmaya Varsha recite. Okay. Now, we will get into the story. Okay, why did Kurma Avatar actually happen? Okay, the background of the story. I want to volunteer to read. Anybody? Raise your hand. I'll unmute. Anybody wants to read? Yeah. Yes, Ramya Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. While Durvasa Muni was passing on the road, he saw Indra on the back of his elephant and was pleased to offer Indra a garland from his own neck. Indra, however, being too puffed up, took the garland and without respect for Durvasa Muni, he placed it on the trunk of his carrier elephant. The elephant, being an animal, could not understand the value of the garland, and thus the elephant threw the garland between its legs and smashed it. Seeing this insulting behavior, Durvasa Muni immediately cursed Indra to be poverty-stricken, bereft of all material opulence. Thus, the demigods, afflicted on one side by the fighting demons and on the other by the curse of Durvasa Muni, lost all the material opulences in the 3 worlds. When one is materially opulent, he should learn to be sober and well behaved towards Vaishnavas and saintly persons. Otherwise, he will fall down.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Okay, so what's happening here? Durvasa Muni, okay, was once Indra was passing by and Durvasa Muni came there. Okay, so Durvasa Muni respected Indra because he is the king of all the demigods, right? He controls all the gods. That's why Durvasa Muni garlanded him. But what did Indra do? He took the garland and put it on the elephant, right? His vehicle. And then Durvasa Muni definitely got angry because the elephant took the garland. Elephant will not understand the value of garland. It's an animal. That's the difference between human beings and animals, right? So that's why Durvasa Muni got insulted. I gave the garland to you, and what did you do, right? And This shows that one should not be puffed up. This is not the first instance, right, where Indra is getting puffed up. We also saw in Govardhan Puja. Why did Govardhan Puja happen? Because people there stopped worshipping Indra, right? Indra Puja stopped and Krishna made it stop. Why? Because Indra was getting puffed up, right? Everybody is worshipping me, I am God. He was getting puffed up. And Krishna never ever wants to see this kind of pride in, in his devotees. Okay, whenever there is a small tinge of pride coming in his devotee, he will teach them a lesson. Because devotee means what? Vaishnava has to have pure qualities in him, right? Any time we get tinged with these bad dirty qualities, Krishna will arrange situations where we get cleansed, we will learn a lesson. Okay, so as Vaishnavas we always have to be sober, well behaved towards other Vaishnavas and saintly persons. Okay, otherwise we will fall down. So what happened? Durvasa Muni cursed Indra, right? And Indra lost all his material opulence. Okay, and then anybody else wants to read? Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Lord Brahma offered prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The demigods having been cursed by the Durvasa Muni were defeated in the battle by the Asuras. When the demigods were deprived of their heavenly kingdoms, they went to the assembly house of Lord Brahma and informed Lord Brahma of what happened. Then the Brahma along with all demigods went to the shore of the ocean of the milk and offered the prayers to the Krishodakshaya Vishnu.
yeah,
Hare
Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Hare Krishna, thank you. Okay, so, and at the same time, demons also attacked because demigods lost all their opulence, right? Because of Durvasa Muni's curse, and they obviously lost in the battle, right? So now they don't have heavenly kingdom, they don't have material opulence, they don't have anything. So now they went to Lord Brahma. See, whatever problem occurs, first person they go approach is Brahma. Okay, this is like the hierarchy. First Brahma, then Brahma will go and speak to Vishnu in Kshirodakshai, he goes and speaks to Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Okay, in the ocean of milk, he will be laying down. So Brahma went and went for the solution. Okay, yeah. Next, who wants to read? Keep your hands raised one by one. I will start unmuting. Okay. Anybody wants to read? Yes, Kamal Prabhuji.
Haribol. Because of the prayers offered by the demigods, Lord Shirodakshaya Vishnu was pleased with the demigods, and thus he appeared before them. The demigods were almost blinded by his transcendental bodily effulgence. At first, therefore, they could not even see any part of his body. After some time, however, when Brahma could see the Lord, he, along with Lord Shiva, began to offer the Lord prayers.
So
Hare
they,
Krishna.
yeah, thank you, Mataji. Yeah, so they whenever Brahma goes and sees Krishna, no, in Kshirodakshai Vishnu, in fact, he offers prayers called Purusha Sukta. Okay, and he whenever there is a problem, Brahma goes, and that too, Brahma does not have entry into the ocean. He needs to stay outside the ocean, and Vishnu in the form of, Krishna in the form of Vishnu gives them darshan. And when we already learned in Bhagavad Gita, right, there is something called Brahma Jyoti, okay, the light coming out from the body of the Lord. That in itself gives light to the entire spiritual world. There is no sun, moon, and all electricity for lighting up. Okay, so this is called transcendental bodily effulgence or Brahma Jyoti. Okay, so bright and so shiny it is that it just blinds all the eyes. Okay, demigods, that's why here it's given demigods couldn't even see Krishna properly because of the effulgence. Okay, and then Brahma and Shiva started offering prayers to the Lord. Okay, telling their problem and requesting him for help. Okay, now when they offered prayers, okay, when offered prayers by Lord Shiva and Brahma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was pleased. Thus, he gave appropriate instructions to all demigods. Okay, so what was the instruction? So, uh, Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of the demigods, was capable of performing the activities of demigods by himself, he wanted to enjoy pastimes in churning the ocean. Therefore, he spoke as follows. So, what do we understand by this? The Lord himself is capable of taking care of all the universal affairs. Okay, he doesn't need to employ demigods. Okay, Varunadev, you take care of rivers and oceans. Fire God, you take care of Agni and all that. No, he is capable of taking care, but he wants to give a chance for his devotees to serve him. This is the main reason why he employs his devotees as demigods. Okay, here also, when this nectar problem came, they were lost, they were cursed and all that, right? He could go himself and help. Okay, but still he wanted to enjoy the pastimes of churning the ocean, and that's why he told demigods what to do, and he made them do things. Okay, how many minutes does it take for Krishna to go inside the ocean, get the nectar and give them, right? Yeah, anybody else wants to read? Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Ajita, unconquerable, advised the demigods to make a peace proposal to the demons so that after formulating a truce, the demigods and demons could churn the ocean of milk. O demigods, cast into the ocean of milk all kinds of vegetables, grass, creepers, and drugs. Then, with my help, making Mandara mountain the churning rod and Vasuki the rope for churning, churn the ocean of milk with undiverted attention. Many other attractive things would be generated by the churning, but the Lord warned the demigods not to be captivated by such things, nor should the demigods be angry if there were some disturbances. After advising the demigods in this way, the Lord disappeared from the scene.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
thank you. So these were the instructions given by the Lord to the demigods. Okay, what did he say? Take the Mandara mountain. It's called the Golden Mountain. Okay, it's present only in heaven. You will not find it in earth. Okay, so take that Mandara mountain. It's very tall, and make that the churning rod. Both of you, as in demigods and demons, on one side each, churn the ocean of milk. Okay, so that you will get nectar. With undiverted attention, we have to churn, right? And during this churning process, not just nectar, there are a lot of other beautiful things that come out. Okay, we will see the list of things that come out. But what does he say? Don't get captivated, continue churning, because nectar is the goal, right? And then you will also get a lot of disturbances. Okay, without giving up, churn the ocean of milk. That's what Krishna says. Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Following the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the demigods established a peace with Maharaja Bali, the king of the demons. Then both the demons and the demigods started for the ocean, taking Mandara mountain with them. Because of the great heaviness of the mountain, the demigods and demons became fatigued, and some of them actually died. Then the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, appeared there on the back of his carrier, Garuda, and by his mercy, he brought these demigods and demons back to life. The Lord then lifted the mountain with one of his hands and placed it on the back of Garuda. The Lord sat on the mountain and was carried to the spot of the churning by Garuda, who placed the mountain near the sea. Then the Lord asked Garuda to leave that place because as long as Garuda was present, Vasuki could not come there.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so what happened?
Thank
As per the instructions of the Lord, all the demigods tried to take the Mandara mountain and place it in the ocean. See, Mandara mountain, like I already told, it's very heavy and tall. Nobody can take it, even demigods. Demigods are very strong, but they also couldn't take it. And half of them, most of them actually died out of fatigue, right? Krishna very well knew this will happen. Okay. Still, he instructed them to attempt. Why? Because Krishna wanted to show to the world that anything, small or big, we need Krishna's help. Without Krishna's help, nothing happens in this world. Right? And then Krishna came along with his carrier Garuda. Okay. And they happened to take the mountain. Right? Lord lifted the mountain, and then Garuda carried both Krishna and the mountain, and Lord placed the mountain in the ocean of milk. And then to churn we need the rope, right? Now the rod is there as mountain, we need the rope as well. And who is the rope? Vasuki here. So Vasuki is snake, right? So if Garuda is there, Vasuki will not come. So Krishna said, Garuda, you go. Okay, and then Vasuki will come. So Vasuki came, and so this was the deal. They happened to make this deal with Bali before itself. Okay, because Bali is the representative here. How Indra is representing demigods, Bali represents all demons. Okay, Bali Maharaj, and we will see in detail about Bali in Vaman Avatar. Okay. By the way, Bali is Prahlad's grandson. Okay, such a great devotee's grandson. Okay. Yes, Mataji, continue.
By the expert arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the demons held the snake near the mouth, whereas the demigods held the tail of the great snake. Then, with great endeavor, they began pulling the snake in both directions. Because the churning rod, Mandara mountain, was very heavy and was not held by any support in the water, it sank into the ocean, and in this way the prowess of both the demons and the demigods was vanquished. Seeing the situation that had been created by the will of the Supreme, the unlimitedly powerful Lord, whose determination is infallible, took the wonderful form, a shape of a tortoise, entered the water and lifted the great Mandara mountain.
Thank you. So as already discussed, if there is no support, churning rod will not stay. Yeah, okay. So same thing happened with Mandara hill. There was no support for the hill. So it sank. Okay. And the moment it sank, again Lord had to come to help. Right? Nothing happens in the world without Krishna's help. And demigods, who are demigods? They're all devotees of the Lord, right? So uh, devotee always depends on Krishna for any kind of help, whether it is small or big. That is one of the greatest qualities of Vaishnava. That is one of the symptom of surrendering to the Lord. Okay, how often do you depend on Lord for help? Okay, that shows how much of surrenderance you have to the Lord. Okay, whether big or small, we have to depend only on Lord. Lord will send somebody for help. Okay, so we have to first ask God for help, and He will send somebody for help. And here it's because it's a case of demigod, Lord himself came. Okay, he came, and what did he do? He went deep into the ocean. He lifted the Mandara hill, right? And he came up. And because Lord is very powerful. Demons are so powerful, they keep saying they're very powerful. Demigods are also very powerful. Both of them, none of them could take the sinking mountain from the ocean, right? Only Krishna could. That's why he said Ajita, unconquerable. Okay, his energies are limitless. And then now what happened? He, by the will of Supreme Lord, he incarnated, okay, in the form of a tortoise, okay, and went into the ocean, took the mountain up, placed it on his back, okay, placed the mountain on the shell, so that the shell became the pivot for the Mandara hill to rest on. Okay, and the moment the Mandara hill rested on this pivot, they all were again able to churn the ocean. Okay, this is the main reason why Krishna came in the form of a tortoise, okay, to support the Mandara hill. And why, and in the form of churning, they again, all the demigods and demons, actually churning was a seva to the Lord, in the seva to the Kurma form of the Lord. How? Why? Because the tortoise shell very often gets itchy feeling. Okay, so what happens? A tortoise always looks for this some kind of an external it attempts to get that itching feeling out of it. Okay, so that is why here when the Mandara hill is kept and churned, okay, what happens? That itchy feeling actually goes away. Okay, Krishna is feeling so relaxed in the Kurma form. He's feeling so relaxed because with the Mandara hill, it's kind of massaging the shell, and all that itchy feeling is going off. Okay, Krishna is getting satisfied. Krishna is getting happier and happier. The more and more they are churning, Krishna is getting more and more happier. Okay, so that's why save to help to enable the both demigods and demons to offer seva to the Lord, Krishna made this arrangement. Okay, and Krishna's plans nobody can understand. Even devotees cannot understand. Okay, so we already saw, right? Dangers can be created by the Supreme Lord and they are again solved by the Supreme Lord. Okay, only devotees understand this, right? He is the one who creates problems, like the way we saw here, right? Krishna did not say the Mandara hill needs a support, needs some pivot for churning to be successful. He just told take the mountain and use it as the churning rod, right? Then only this problem happened, right? The hill sank. So it is in a way created by Krishna, and again Krishna only comes to solve them. Okay, this is just to make his devotees understand the glories of the Lord and the power of the Lord. Okay, and then yes, Ramya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. When the demigods and demons saw that Mandara mountain had been lifted, they were enlivened and encouraged to begin churning again. The mountain rested on the back of the great tortoise, which extended for 800,000 miles like a large island. O king, when the demigods and demons, by the strength of their arms, rotated Mandara mountain on the back of the extraordinary tortoise, the tortoise accepted the rolling of the mountain by a means of scratching his body, and thus he felt a pleasing sensation.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So here the description of Mandara mountain is given 800,000 miles. Can you imagine? Right? 800,000 miles long. Okay, and obviously, for that mountain to rest on, we need extraordinary support. Nothing in God's creation can. Lord Himself had to come down. That's why He Himself came down, right? And we already discussed the scratching part of it, right? He was this sensation was actually pleasing him. Okay, and then what happened? Uh, Simultaneously, when the mountain was placed on the back of the tortoise, when you churn, top also the mountain needed support. So that's why when, like you see in the picture here, Krishna is there on top as well, not just down. Okay, Krishna is there top holding the mountain so that the mountain doesn't fall off. Okay, so that's why he is inconceivable. Nobody can imagine the Krishna's ability. Okay, manifesting himself with thousands of hands, the Lord then appeared on the summit of the Mandara mountain, like another great mountain, and held Mandara mountain with one hand. Okay, so he appeared like another great mountain with hands, thousands of hands, to hold the Mandara mountain so that it just doesn't fall off. Because from both the sides, demigods and demons are pulling it. It might fall off anytime. Okay, and so looking at this, Brahma and Shiva showered flowers on the Lord. Okay, now when nectar did not come from the ocean of milk, despite so much endeavor by the best of the demigods and demons, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ajita, personally began to churn the ocean. Okay, they were churning, but nectar did not come. Not even a drop came out. Again, Krishna had to come and help them, right? Krishna is called Ajita, we already saw, unconquerable. Okay, nobody can defeat him. So he personally came and churned along with the demigods. Okay, so by churning the ocean of milk, Ajita produced nectar for the demigods. The moment Krishna personally started churning, then nectar came out. Who brought the nectar? Dhanvantri. We will see that later. Okay, nectar came, and so in the form of a tortoise, he moved here and there, carrying on his back the great mountain known as Mandara. Okay, this is a summary of his outlook. Okay, now there are certain things that came out during this churning process. Nectar came out finally. Before that, a lot of things came out. Okay, anybody has any idea about what other things came out from the ocean during the churning process? You can type your answer. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. From
Hare
that,
Krishna.
from the churning of the ocean of the milk, the Lakshmi came out,
Yeah, very good. Lakshmi came out,
and also the poison also came out.
uh,
But the Lord Shiva,
consumed it. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, thank you, Haribol. Oh, I'm getting so many answers. Very good. Um, yes, horse came out, elephant came out. it's not Kamadhenu, it's called Surabhi cow. Okay, Surabhi cow came out. Okay, yeah, okay, very good. So now we will see one by one what happened. Okay, the lot of stories in Kurma Avatar. Okay, now poison. First thing that came out was poison. Okay, the moment they started churning, the first thing that came out was poison. And the moment poison came out, everybody started panicking. Okay, they did not know what to do, and they approached Lord Shiva for help. Okay? Shiva is called as Ashutosh. Okay, why is he called Ashutosh? Because he is very pleased when he meets a devotee of Krishna. Because Krishna, I mean Shiva is himself a great devotee. He is the best of the Vaishnavas. Vaishnavanam yatha Shambho. Shambho, Shiva is the best of the Vaishnavas. Okay, out of all the Vaishnavas, there is a shloka in Bhagavatam. Out of all the rivers, like how Ganges is the best, out of all Vaishnavas, Shiva is the best. Okay, that's why he's called Ashutosh, because the moment he meets a devotee, he becomes very pleased. Okay, devotee of Krishna. Okay, so all the demigods went to Shiva, no? All the demigods are devotees of Krishna. So he became very pleased, he wanted to help them. So he said, he agreed to drink all the poison. Okay, and because Shiva is greatest devotee of Krishna, he is never unsuccessful in anything. Okay, and that's why even when Durga Devi got to know that her husband is going to drink poison, she never got disturbed. She said, it's fine, I know what Shiva's capability is, because his devotion to the Lord will save him. Okay, nothing else can save devotees, only their devotion towards the Lord can save them. Okay, so what did Shiva do? He drank the poison. Anybody knows why he did not drink fully? He stored the poison here in the neck, right? That's why he's called Vishakanta and Neelakanta. Why didn't he take it till the stomach? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Okay, so the main reason why Shiva stopped the poison here in the neck and he did not take it downwards is because Paramatma is present, right? In everybody's heart. Paramatma is present even in Shiva's heart, right? He told, if I take the poison inside towards my heart, Paramatma is sitting there and the poison might touch him. I don't want my Krishna to be touched by poison. Okay, that was the love he had towards the Lord. He was like, I can store it in my neck all my life, no worries, but I don't want this to touch my Lord sitting in my heart. Okay, that's why he's called Vishakanta. He stores all the poison in his heart, in his neck itself. Okay? He doesn't push it down. Okay, and that is Shiva. Okay, that's why he's called Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Okay, yeah, so but when he was drinking the poison, a drop fell to the earth. Okay, and because of that small drop, all the poisonous animals we have today, snakes and what else, all the poisonous scorpions and all that, and toxic plants and all that started taking birth in earth. Okay, otherwise we would not have any poisonous creatures in this world. Okay, again, this is also at the will of the Lord. The second thing that came out was Surabhi. Somebody said Kamadhenu cow. No, it's not Kamadhenu. It's called Surabhi. Okay. In Brahma Samhita, this line is given. Lakshavriteshu surabhirabhipalayantam. Right? It starts with this. Chintamani prakarasatmashu kalpavruksha lakshavriteshu surabhirabhipalayantam. Lakshmi Sahasrashata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Right? So, Lakshavriteshu Surabhirabhipalayantam. Krishna takes care of thousands, Laksha, okay? Laksha is what? Millions, crores of, lakhs of Surabhi cows in the Goloka Vrindavana, his eternal abode. Okay, this is how the cow looks. Okay, white color. So Surabhi cow also came out from this churning of the ocean process. Okay, so whatever comes out through this churning is very special. Okay, it's very valuable. That's why Krishna initially told, don't get captivated. There are a lot of things that would be coming out. Don't get captivated, don't get carried away, focus. Okay, So Surabhi cow, that's why Surabhi cow is very, very valuable. They are never present on earth. They are present only in Goloka. And Krishna personally takes care of them. Okay, personally tends these cows. Okay, and yeah, so great saintly persons accepted this cow to derive clarified butter from its milk, and offer this clarified butter in ablations for great sacrifices. Okay, they had access. We don't have access to Surabhi cow. Okay, next, Uchishrava. Okay, Uchishrava is a horse. Okay, in Vibhuti Yoga, 10th chapter, Krishna says, out of all the horses, I am Uchishrava. Okay, so Uchishrava, because this horse also came out from the ocean of milk. This horse is also very, very valuable. Okay, very, very significant out of all the other horses. Okay, and this horse was taken by Bali Maharaj. Okay, and then what came out? Elephant came out. Airavata is the best of the elephants. Again, Airavata also came out from the ocean of milk. So Krishna says in Vibhuti Yoga, out of all the elephants, I am Airavata. Okay, whatever is special, whatever is valuable, that is Krishna. Okay, and then along with Airavata, there were other elephants and she elephants also which came out. Okay, then a gem called Kaustuba came out. If you see Krishna in Vrindavan Leela, he used to wear Kaustuba, as a necklace. Okay, he used to always keep Kaustuba close to his heart, the region of his heart, in the form of a necklace pendant he used to wear. Okay, why? Again, Kaustuba is so valuable because it came out from the ocean of milk. Okay, and then Parijata flower and Apsaras. The most Apsaras are considered the most beautiful women in this entire universe, right? So they also came out from the ocean of milk. Okay, then comes goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. Okay, Lakshmi Samudra Rajatanaya, right? She is called the daughter of ocean of milk, Ksheerasagara. Ksheerasagara's daughter is Lakshmi. Why? Because she came out from ocean of milk. Okay, um and then when she came out, there's a very nice incident that happened. She looked at everybody there. Okay, and everybody else were ready to take her. Okay, but she was not ready to go to anybody. Okay, she actually thought, gave some time and gave it a thought. Okay, but then finally she chose, she came to a conclusion, nobody is deserved to take me here, only Vishnu is deserved. So that's why she goes as in the form of wife. She goes to Vishnu. Okay, she accepts Vishnu. She chooses only Vishnu as her husband. Okay, actually others were all waiting. Okay, so that's why Lakshmi is said to be goddess of fortune, because she's so beautiful, she's so opulent in every way. All the fortune, I mean, she's the controller of all the fortune in the world, right? So obviously, if she's the controller of all the fortune, how can ordinary people, even if they are demigods, be equal to her, right? Only Vishnu can. That's why she chose Vishnu as her husband. And then when demigods were upset, I mean, demons were upset because they couldn't get Lakshmi, Varuni came out. Okay, Varuni is what? Goddess of drinking. Okay, and demons chose Varuni, the goddess of drinking. Okay, instead of Lakshmi. That's why we say no, Daridra Lakshmi, right? When people are in the mode of ignorance, using their money for bad things, partying, drinking, smoking all the time, that Lakshmi gets converted to Daridra Lakshmi. Okay, so we can compare that to Varuni here. Because demons did not get Lakshmi, Varuni came out, and Krishna told you can choose Varuni, right? And all were happy. All demigods were happy because Lakshmi became the eternal consort of Lord Vishnu. Finally, what happened? Nectar came out. Okay, who brought the nectar? Dhanvantri. Okay, he is the heavenly doctor. He's the doctor in heavenly planets. All the demigods, he's the doctor for all the demigods. Okay, they hardly fall sick, first of all, and whenever they fall sick, it's Dhanvantri who goes and helps them. Okay, Dhanvantri, Dhanteras is celebrated because Dhanvantri was born. Okay, Diwali, during Diwali time we celebrate Dhanteras, right? He was born on a Trayodashi, and Dhanvantri is also called partial incarnation of Vishnu. Okay, and he came out with a nectar, jug full containing nectar. Okay, and then what happened? The interesting part comes now. Okay, now demons snatched the nectar from Dhanvantri's hand. They started running around. Okay, so demigods actually need nectar, right? It's not demons. So what happened? I might extend the class for some 10 more minutes. Okay, let's finish Kurma avatar fully. Okay, now what happened? They started snatching the nectar from all the demons, snatched the nectar, they started running. Okay, and now the demigods again went to Krishna for help. They were like, the Lord, what do we do? And what did Krishna do? He took the form of Mohini. He came in a form of a beautiful woman. Okay, so captivating that young woman looked. All the demons gave their, they became a fan of that woman. Okay, they all fell for her. And now, what did she do? Out of her beauty and polite attitude, she took a promise from the demons. Okay, whatever I decide, okay, in terms of this nectar, whom this nectar should be given to, whatever I decide should be the final. You shouldn't be questioning it. Because she was so beautiful, they all the demons got carried away, and they were like, okay, fine, we will not quarrel and we will not question. Whatever you settle, that will be the final. Okay. Now they Krishna, I mean, in the form of Mohini, he took advantage of this weakness of demons, and he started distributing the nectar to all demigods. He first said, okay, demigods sit on one side in a line, and all demons sit on the other side in a line. Okay, then he first distributed all nectar to the demigods, and then he said, it's over. There is no nectar left for demons. Okay, all the demons were upset, but they didn't question because they had promised, and she's so beautiful, right? So they were all carried away. And then what happened? By fluke, what happened? Rahu is a demon. He came and sat in front of moon and sun god. Okay, sat in between moon and sun god. He's called he disguised himself, and he sat, okay, in the form of a demigod. Mohini very well knew this, but she did not stop. Why? Because she wanted to show to the world how important or the value of nectar. Okay, the importance of nectar. Okay, now what happens? Nectar has the power to make anybody eternal. Okay, so what happened? Eternal as in, as long as this material world is there, those people can be alive. Okay, now what happened? She gave the nectar to Rahu also. Okay, because and then she cut off the neck of Rahu. Okay, because she knew very well Rahu is not a demigod, he's a demon. Okay, now what happened? Because this nectar touched the head of Rahu, when she cut off the head, that head became immortal. Okay, the head alone became eternal. Okay, that is the power of nectar. This is what she wanted to show to the world. That's why she encouraged Rahu's Rahu's game plan here. Okay, then what happened? Because Rahu's head was immortal, uh, uh, as a demon's job is to irritate demigods, right? So what happened? This eclipse happens. No, once in a while, sun and moon. Rahu is eternal enemy, sun and moon. Okay, he can attack them. Okay, on the eclipse days. That's why on eclipse, we don't get sunlight or enough moonlight, because Rahu goes and covers them completely. Okay, and because of that, those are the only days where Rahu gets the power to attack the sun and the moon. Okay, and sun and the moon have to take this as long as this material world is active, because Rahu's head is immortal. Okay, there's a small story behind that, because of the nectar. Okay, and then after the demigods finished drinking the nectar, personality of Godhead again came back to his original form. Okay, the Mohini incarnation went away, and Krishna came back to his original form. Then demigods were like, okay, again Krishna cheated. Okay, so Krishna says, no, in Bhagavad Gita, if you cheat, I'm the greatest cheater, right? I'm a bigger cheater. Krishna says, so nobody can cheat Krishna. Okay, nobody can cheat Krishna, and moreover, he is there in the hearts of in the form of Paramatma. He is there in the hearts. Even before we think something, Paramatma will know what we will be thinking, right? It's impossible to cheat him. Definitely. So the place, the time, the cause, the purpose, the activity, and the ambition were all the same for both the demigods and the demons. But still, demigods achieved the result, and demons did not. Right? Both of them were churning on the same day. They were churning. They were using the same setup to churn. Okay, one side it was demigods, one side it was demons, right? Lord came, both could see the Lord. Lord favored both of them by keeping the Mandara hill in the ocean, by giving the support to the Mandara hill. Both of them were being encouraged by the Lord to churn, right? But why only demigods accepted, got the nectar, got a chance to taste the nectar? Why demons did not get the chance to taste the nectar? That explains the entire moral of Kurma Avatar. This is the most significant bit of Kurma Avatar. Okay, everything was same for both demigods and demons. In fact, demigods, when they started churning, they were lost, right? They were bereft of all their material opulence also because of the curse. They had thrown away. They did not have their heavenly planets also with them, right? No power, no ability, no opulence, nothing. They were also like demons only, as in terms of opulence. What made demigods win? What made demigods different from the demons was only that fact, the fact that they were devotees. They depended on Krishna for everything. Whenever any problem happened during the churning process, demons never approached Krishna first. It was demigods who always kept on calling Krishna for help. Okay, Krishna came and encouraged demons also, because to churn they need support, right? All demigods alone cannot churn, right? Demons had to give their support, and demons gave their support because they wanted nectar, right? So there was no devotion in the hearts of demons. It was only in the hearts of demigods there was devotion, and that devotion makes devotees win, nothing else. Okay, Krishna is the only one who can help us, help devotees, whether it is small or big. That is the reason I already told Vaishnavas, whether it is small or big, we have to depend only on Krishna for help. Okay, we saw this in Gajendra's story, Draupadi's story, right? Draupadi had five husbands. One husband also could not help her. Correct? So she ultimately, she asked even Bhishma, Drona, Dhritarashtra, everybody she asked for help. Nobody could help her. Right? Bhima was so powerful. He's considered the most powerful of the Pandavas. He also couldn't help. Ultimately, who helped her? She raised both her hands and she surrendered to Krishna. The moment she raised both her hands, until then she was only trying to guard her sari. Okay, the moment she left her sari and she raised both her hands and prayed to Krishna, called him for help, that's when Krishna came and helped her. Right? So same way, that is called surrenderance. How often do we depend on God, and for what do we depend on God? These two factors determine how strongly have we surrendered to Krishna. Okay, so you can self assess. You don't need a guru to assess you and tell, okay, this is your level in Vaishnavism. No, you can self assess, right? So for a devotee, yeah, so last line, the demons, however, not having sought shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, were unable to achieve the result they achieved, desired. But demons, because, demigods, because the demigods are always under the shelter of the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. We are not even under the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. We are under the shelter of the dust, the small particle, dust particle of which is present on the lotus feet of the Lord. That gives us all the benefit we need. Okay, because we are not qualified to directly go and take shelter. We need Acharya's support. Okay, that's why Prabhupada says, catch my dhoti, I will take you to Krishna Loka, Goloka, through the back door. I have the key to back door of Goloka. Okay, because we are not qualified to enter through the front door. Are we so clean? Are we so purified? No, right? That's why Prabhupada says, hold on to me. Holding on to Prabhupada means what? Following his instructions. All his instructions are like very easy, right? Chant 16 rounds, follow the 4 regulative principles. As simple as that. And read Prabhupada's books. If you read Prabhupada's books, chanting and following 4 regulative principles becomes a cakewalk. Okay? It all begins with reading Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavatam, reading Prabhupada's puppets, Bhakti Vedanta puppets. Okay? So, O King, after the Supreme Personality of Godhead had brought to completion the affairs of the churning of the ocean and feeding the nectar to the demigods, who are his dear devotees, he left the presence of them all and was carried by Garuda to his own abode. He returned. Okay, so this is the end of Kurma Avatar. So he just incarnated to save the demigods. Okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, so any questions? Any doubts? Any discussion? you want to do, we can. I'm sorry I took a lot of time today because